Crawford with a miss, and Nene, good job of getting the rebound. Rockets have missed 5 of their last 8. No whistle. Chris sets, fires, hits.
Look for Chris Paul to take it all the way.
There it is. 1 second left. Bounce pass to Nene for 2 and 1. So the Rockets with a chance to finish the quarter on a 6-0 run. Chris Paul. I don't care how much iron it hits. When he shoots it from 15 feet, it goes in. There's Chris Paul. That's his shot. And they're giving him that. He's getting that open look. So he's got to take it. Gives it up to Eric Gordon. Oh, there's help on the way. Here comes E.G. Chris Paul puts up a little mini hook. Now they got back on the guys they wanted to get on. So it's up to Chris Paul. This is where Chris Paul now, when you double team Harden, Chris Paul's got to shine.
He's the best in the league at that mid-range game.
And that's a shot which will go in at the other side. With the high screen by Johnson, here comes Paul, his 3. Paul the other way, Rose will defend. And he got the momentum of Rose too much. Put on the brakes as these guards can do so well. Look at Paul bouncing off bodies like a pinball. Using him as leverage.
And he is really going at Teague and Derrick Rose.
Yep. 7.5 to go on the half. Rose with a little move as he takes it from the wing. Knocked away with the 7:27 mark, and it's out of bounds, and Minnesota will inbound. Karl Anthony Towns a 3. Nene close on the closeout, and here comes Paul out to Green. Here's a 3.
A 6-point swing because of the miss by Karl Anthony Towns. He is letting the defense off the hook by floating to the 3-point line.
The Rockets are shooting 53% in this second quarter after a 20% shooting first quarter. Ariza with a 3 in the opposite corner where he nailed the other one. Chris Paul, 4 of 7.
Make that 5 of 8 and just posted up Jones straight on the block.
Paul left free to fire from 3. Chris Paul is on his game. Kicks it outside. Tucker with a 3 in the corner. And a foul! Bielitsa loses the ball. Here comes Paul, knocked from behind by Bielitsa. Second called on Nemanja, and Chris Paul tumbling at the other side. I think. Look at Paul scooping. Oh! It hit the rafters and dropped. How fun to see that.
Oh, he's bringing rain.
Oh, it's true.
CP3 is bringing rain.
I think it. Let's see how high it gets. Yeah, it went up above the backboard.
Somewhere George Gervin is smiling.
Paul wheeling, feeding. Capella!
That's the bigger of the rampage right there. Capella don't have to run a play, just a simple high screen and roll. And the finish.
Paul will put this over Bielitsa and find it dropping. He's got it tonight after he missed it in game 1. Chris Paul up and down, having his way. 25 points for Chris Paul. Paul. Whoa!
This is ridiculous.
He's an acrobat. Here comes Paul. Ariza left free to fire.
And here's the problem. When you go switch, you get that. The wide open 3.
Paul doing his magic in the lane. Gets 2. Here's Paul working on Bielitsa. Gets past him. Lays it off the window and in. That was 6 years ago, 2012, when Derrick Rose tore his ACL in the playoffs. And he's never been the same since. Butler trying to poke it away. Paul, so good with the mid-range. He just probes and handles and then scores over Towns. 6 points for Towns, all in the second quarter. Gordon, splash on a 3, his 3rd triple. Meanwhile, Jimmy Butler is holding his left leg. He is down on the other end. Ariza's 3 makes it a 1-point game. 2 for 7 for Towns from the floor. He's averaging 6.5 points per game in this series after 21 points per game during the regular year. Paul gives the Rockets the lead with a 3-pointer. Ball pulls up and gets it. Ball in the paint, stops, pops, and hits. 17 for Chris Paul.
He's already in 2 threes. He's just got his third in a row. Wow. Paul thinking three. The pump fake and the floater. Chris Paul puts it in. Game 3, 17 points. And here's a flying shot from the free throw line. Chris Paul buries it.
Well, I like having Rose in this smaller lineup with Teague and Jamal Crawford.
Here comes Paul. Makes a nice fake, and it was Towns trying to stay up with him and could not.
Nice start to the second quarter here for Chris Paul.
Paul, drop pass, Capella, book it.
Number one, great pass by CP3. And an even better finish by Capella.
What a beautiful pass. Paul to Ariza. Paul in, up and down. Rockets have hit all 9 shots in the lane in this one. The Rockets' three-point shooting, first 3 games 31%, tonight 28%. Another 3, this time it will get the roll right through. Reggie Paul with a nice shot right there. Capella with the screen, and Paul will try to maneuver around it. He got the screen, he takes the 3. Beautiful shot, Chris Paul, and the Rockets have really come out strong. Here's a long 3 by Paul. Puts it up and through. Rockets are shooting 45%, Minnesota 42%. Teardrop inside, Chris Paul. 9 of 16 with 25. Harden with 34. Turnover, and down goes Crawford. Here comes Rose. Fouled by Paul. And stolen by Paul. He's not giving up defensively. Then Crawford got him from behind. Towns driving into Paul, who pickpockets the ball. What a nice.
He pickpocketed Derrick Rose, and now he takes Karl Anthony Towns' lunch. Just like that.
It's Tucker, and down low to look for Paul. Nice shot once again. Ariza beginning tonight the way he started game 4. Towns down the lane, rejected by Capella. 4 blocks a couple nights ago. Number 1 there, into Capella from Paul.
Well, that's a beautiful play at both ends by Capella.
Here's Capella, who will give you a move with every part of his body. He's got 10 early points for the Rockets. Paul, Jang is defending. Chris got it to go over the taller player. The first shot that drops for Paul from the field. 1 of 7. Chris Paul finds 2 inside. So their defensive screws have got to be tightened on the Rocket side. What about the Timberwolves, who shot 67% in that first half? Harden, 3, book it. Wow.
Just like that third quarter. Chris Paul, Harden, get the first 2 baskets here for Houston.
Rockets playing in their 6th consecutive playoff, all coinciding with Harden's arrival. A second consecutive jump shot made by Paul. And he is fired up. Paul, Harden, step back triple, Capella the screen.
Too easy. And for a guy that's struggling, that's all it takes to kind of get him going offensively.
Back to Paul. The screen, the double. Anderson with a 3. Finally it drops for the high-priced Ryan Anderson.
Houston now at that magic number. They've made 15 threes here in game 5, shooting close to 40%.
Paul up close. Timeout, Minnesota. It's Paul.
How good has he been?
That will drop.
How good has he been in this second half along with James Harden?
Paul on the fly now.
But internally, these young players have to grow up. Andrew Wiggins has to be the guy to grow up. Well, you had 2 All-Stars and Butler and Karl Anthony Towns, and to me, Wiggins could be one of those players where he could put so much pressure at both ends of the floor.
Rockets only 5 turnovers, ties a postseason record. Game and series to the top-seeded Houston Rockets.